Hi there. I'm sure that if you're anything like me, you've been sitting a lot more lately, not getting up as often, and whether you're experiencing some low back pain with that or not, I have a stretch for you to try at home. I've been experiencing some low back pain myself over the last couple months. I did this stretch and it was gone. I hardly ever believe in miracle quick fixes, but it's worth a shot. So try this stretch. It's a hip flexor stretch because when we sit, our hip flexor muscles in the front of the hip get shorter and they get tighter because they don't see the reason to be any longer. So then when we go to stand again, if they don't move and stretch with that standing position, then they stay short and tug your hips forward, compressing your lower back spinal segments together, maybe pinching on some nerves in there. Plus the muscles are going to respond around what's happening in the low back, so they might get tight as well. So you might want to try this stretch, even if you don't have low back pain, to just use as a maintenance and make sure it never creeps in at all. So what you do is you kneel down. Let's aim this lower. You kneel down like you're in a lunge. You might want to place a pillow underneath the knee that's on the ground for some extra padded support. You stay up on those back toes, okay? So the toes are curled under. The front foot is your support. And then what you do is you roll your hips in a tuck position to tilt the hips back and kind of curve to the front. Now, if you're doing this, and it is the most important part, you're going to feel the stretch immediately, right down the front of that kneeling hip. If you don't, you might be nice and loose already. That's okay, that's good. You can always add to the stretch by taking the same side arm up and then reaching over you like this, away from that side. If you don't feel anything with either of those, you might not be tucking your hips hard enough. And a good test to know if you are is that you can't move forward very far into that front leg if your hips are nice and tucked. If you let them go, your back arches a little, you can freely move forward and back very easily. So the most important part of this is tucking your hips under. Now, if this is too hard to get down into this position, you can always find a surface to put your foot up on. So you just use that for leverage there. Same thing, you tilt the hips and then you feel it right down the front. If you don't feel it, then you can always lower into it a little bit more. You might get some in the quad, maybe down around the knee. Anywhere you're stretching is good. We want to loosen up the tightest area. Or you might need just a higher surface to put your foot up on in order to feel it enough. Anyway, give those a try. See if it improves things for you. Thanks. Stay safe.